Hi there. This is the first in a series of videos about Star Dynasties, the game that I'm working on. Star Dynasties is a procedural narrative strategy game. It's set in a not too distant future where things have gone wrong. Earth has been destroyed and the fledgling colonies of humanity have reverted into a feudal dark age. Now what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be playing the game a little so you can get a sense of what it's like. The game itself is currently in an alpha state, it's playable, it's mostly free of bugs, but there is various content that needs changing or adding. Okay, so this is the main view of the game, the star map. You can see the colonies of humanity on the map and they're grouped together into factions. If I zoom out, you can see the factions that my character is currently aware of. There's more factions out here in the unknown, and depending how successful I am, I may eventually meet them. This is my character, and let me click on her and find out more about who I am. Now, the game is mostly about its character, so I'm going to take some time finding out who I am. My name is Cherry Burns, I'm 25 years old, so I'm quite young, and I'm the leader of the Burns Confederation. That's this set of 3 systems over here. And apparently I am the vassal of a larger league called the Sherman Collective. That's this yellowish brown wedge here in the center. I am the head of House Burns, a political house, and I live and personally rule Achernar, this system over here. If we look at the public's general opinion of me, I seem to be decently well liked, not hugely, but that hopefully will improve over time. You can see the traits that make up my character and my situation. Apparently I'm a coward, and I have a pretty forgiving personality, and so on and so forth. We can look at my skills. My best skill seems to be diplomacy, and my worst skill seems to be military. The game also models my mood, so we can see that I'm actually pretty happy at the moment, and most of that seems to be because my husband is happy and I'm happy for him, because I'm absolutely in love with him. And if we can, let's see why I'm so much in love with him. Well, I'm attracted to him, that helps. I like his personality, and we have children together, and it's fun to live with him, so I can see why my character absolutely adores him. And to be fair, he seems to do the same. So, obviously, I'm going to have different opinions of different characters. Let's see what I think of my master, the Archon of the league that I'm a part of. And that is Archon Laramie Sherman. I seem to like her too. And mostly that's because she keeps her taxes low, which is fair enough. Okay. So you can see that the game models the leaders and rulers of this galaxy, but it does much more than that. If I click on family, I can see that the game models my children, my husband, quite a large extended family. If I click on my political house and its members, these are the members that are currently in my house. And if I became richer and more powerful along the course of the story, my house would continue to grow. So you can see there's quite a lot of complexity, and there's a similar amount of complexity on each system in this galactic map. So you can see that the game tracks quite a large cast of characters, and it's mostly about the stories of political and human drama that arise from all these characters trying to get ahead, trying to satisfy their personal and political needs. So let's see what that's like, shall we? So the game is turn-based, and what happens is I take my actions and then I click end turn, and every other character in the world takes their actions, and then some things happen in the environment. Now, if I was playing properly, this is my first turn. I would probably spend some time looking around, seeing who's my enemies, who's my friend. For example, she this leader of this nearby faction seems to, well, it's not, she doesn't seem to like me very much. What about my rulers? What are they like? He likes me. And, oh, he's related to me, so that's probably good. How is he in my what is he in my family? Let's see. He's my stepfather, okay? And the other ruler, she's not related to me at all, but she seems to be okay. All right, so that's what I would spend my first turn doing, but I'm just gonna go right ahead here and jump into the game, see what happens. Okay, so what's going to happen is that the game generates events, and they're going to pop up and they're going to tell me something that's happened, and sometimes I get a decision to make, sometimes it's just information. So in this case, it seems like a member of my house, my negotiator, the head of my diplomacy, is asking me to expel an ambassador from another faction. Let's expel him. He doesn't like you. Who knows what he's plotting? Well, it's quite true. He doesn't like me, but he doesn't really hate me either. So maybe there's not much of a risk. And I really don't want to piss off the leader that sent him. So let's not antagonize her. No, I'm fine. Okay. So when I press OK, the game immediately jumps to the next event. And in this case, what's happening is, oh, that's quite a coincidence. She seems to have decided to pull him back anyway. I guess the ruler has figured out that he's not doing a lot of good on my system. So what she's done is she's assigned him to administration on her system. He's no longer the ambassador on my system. I'm not really happy about that because it's a bit insulting to just draw back an ambassador without sending a replacement. You can see that I'm not very happy about it, and presumably if I bring her up, that's given her a hit to my opinion of her. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. An unknown ruler has broken allegiance with the Hendrix Collective, that would be this faction, and has pledged Saddle Malik, that system, to the Benson Quadrant up here. So this leader isn't doing very well. And you can see, by the way, that this event, because it's such a serious political event, has created quite a lot of reaction. I'm going to open that so we can look at it in detail. She's obviously not very happy. And we don't really know who the participants of this event is. We don't really know the ruler of the system. We don't really know the leader of the faction. Hopefully those are things we can find out. But right now, all I can see is that a lot of people have done bad things. And the only person I can see who is the leader of this faction, all I can see is that she looks weak as a result of that having happened. So she's lost a bit of respect. If I look at the public's general opinion of her, and I'll mouse over the respect section of that, she's just lost Saddle Malik. So she's lost political status because of that. And as a result, I like her less. Okay. Alright, so let's move on and see what else happens. Alright. Oh! My master, her husband has died. Archon Consort Bayard Sherman of House Sherman is dead. Okay. Before we move on, that probably means she's quite sad right now. Well, not too sad. Maybe she didn't care for him too much. Okay. My mother was assigned to administration duties for House Everett. So House Everett is the house that rules this system, and you'll remember that that's ruled by my stepfather, and he's assigned my mother to administration duties of it. Okay, so obviously it's not very important that I know when a character in some random house on the map is assigned to administration duties, but this is my mother, so the game says, oh, you're probably interested in that, and brings it to my attention. Now this seems to be a more serious issue. My mother-in-law is asking for military support to defend Lalandi 46650 from attack by leader Sabine Wise. Okay, so seems to be a bit of a small war going on here between these two very small factions, and it seems I'm being drawn in because one of them is my mother-in-law, which obliges me to help her. a lot of the political relationships are based on marriage, political marriages. As my mother-in-law, what this symbol shows me is that if I don't help her, everyone is going to think I'm a really bad person. I'm kind of obliged to help her here. So I'm going to provide military support. I could refuse and take the political hit, and that might be a valid choice if I don't want to get involved in her war. But in this case, I'm going to provide military support. I'm allying with my mother to defend from attack. And part of the process, I've declared war on this very small faction over here. Now, you'll see that although I've declared war, and that's usually a big no-no, what's happened here is that because I was obliged to help my mother-in-law, everyone is thinking in this universe, in this culture, well, that's fair enough. You went in to help an ally. You went in to help a very close ally. So you haven't broken any rules. All my vassals have responded to my call to arms, and the fight has happened, and with my help, we've absolutely crushed the fleet. So we've defended the Lalande 46650. You see that my mother-in-law has gained political status as a result, and the attacker has lost it, and she's failed to conquer it. And good. All right, so she's happy. Part of that will be happiness with me. So if I click on her, and you can see that she's pleased with what I've done. Okay, and now the game moves on. And I found out that Carl Keller, who's he? He's a member of my house, one of my members. He's a diplomat. He's attracted to this leader over here. Well, good luck, mate. Probably not going to come to anything. Okay, so that's the turn has ended, and the game summarizes the events that happened that it didn't think were important enough to bring to my attention as the game was going on. So I could very briefly go through a few. There was someone else who allied with my mother-in-law to defend Lalande. Fair enough. Someone assigned someone to the head of house. You can see that there's a lot of detail that's going on in the background, and some of this might occasionally be good to go back and refer to, but I'm not interested in it really right now, so I'm just going to move on. And now it's my turn. And what do I do? Well, for a start, I can look at the hints the game is coming up for me, and let's see what it says. There's someone in my house that's standing idle. Villette Knapp, okay, so we can assign her to a role in my house. What's she good at? She's good at military. She's not good at security at all, because that's my biggest need right now. Given that she can't do that, I'll probably assign her to military. Okay, all right. Now, what else? I'm lacking council members in administration and security. Okay, I'll deal with that shortly. And I can expand my empire by pressing or championing the following claims. The Burns Confederation's claim to own Zuben el Ganubi. Okay, what's that like? So I think if I click on Zuben el Ganubi and I see the claimants. Oh, I have a claim to own it. That means I've probably lost it to my my master in some ancient war. So that's something I'm going to keep in my back pocket. That'll be something that I can use perhaps when I'm rebelling against it, because I've got ambitions. I want to be my own independent faction soon enough. Okay, so I hope that was a good introduction to the game and what it's like. If you're interested in knowing more about the game, follow me on Twitter or Facebook. And if you have any thoughts or comments about what you've seen, I would love to hear them. Thank you.